Hello, I'm Nari McDiarmid for miningnews.net, and I'd like to welcome Stan Wholley, Managing Director and CEO at CGN Resources, which is focused on iron oxide copper gold targets in the exploration hotspot of the West Arunta. And Stan, you've received some significant attention lately in the market. Why do you think people are starting to take note?
Uh, Thanks, Nari. Look, I think, as you alluded to in your entry, the West Arunta has got a lot of eyes on it. Some of our near neighbours, WA1 Encounter, have had some really fantastic discoveries there. The area is really underexplored, but has been known for some time to be a really prospective area, and for a number of reasons. Native title was one. It is in a somewhat remote location, but that is a great story for us because it means no one's really looked there. And when you go and look in these great locations, you often have fantastic discoveries. WA1 is a great example of that. Rincon on our southern boundaries had some good luck. Encounter a little bit north of WA1. Other large companies, IGO and Rio Tinto, are all out there doing similar sort of work, targeting large magmatic systems. You sort of said, like, we're just looking for IOCGs. That is one of our target types, but magmatic sulfides are not out of the question out there. We've got some good targets with nickel in them. We've got some good targets with rare earths in them. So there's a whole suite of things that we can look at, and we're fortunate to have a very large, almost 1,000 square K package right in the heart of the West Arunta, and there really isn't any other unpegged ground in there. So we're quite fortunate, and I think people like our exploration story. We were fortunate enough to raise $10 million last year via an IPO, and that puts us in a great position as a junior explorer to go and test the targets that we've developed over the next couple of years in a really iterative and, I guess, geoscience forward way. I'm a geologist by background. We're quite a small but technical team, and we value good geoscience. So we're just going to go through what we said we were going to do in the IPO docs, and we're sort of getting into that, and the market seems to like it. So I'd say that's the reason.
And Stan, I noticed a lot of your key targets are named after some famous elephants. So you mentioned large systems in the area that others are discovering. So obviously you've got some big targets in mind. What's your focus at the moment at your web project?
So we're actively drilling now. So I guess this little chat that we're having will lose relevance, hopefully, over the next couple of weeks as we make some discoveries. But so our focus is to go through our 6 high priority targets over this year. So we've done some work at Tantor, which we did just post listing. We're currently drilling a hole at Surus. That they're both IOCG targets. Large magmatic systems targets, I would say. And then we're getting an RC rig up there in about a week or 10 days. We'll do some RC programs over our nickel and rare earths, and then come back with some diamond probably later in the year to do Snorky and Horton, which are, again, large magmatic targets. Originally, they were all IOCG targets, but that's what WA1 went looking for and found, like, their niobium-rich carbonatite, using the same targeting strategy as us. And so you would have to say, now that they've found that there, that our same targeting strategy may lead us to a carbonatite. So, yeah, we're pretty much doing iterative first pass explorations, looking at all of our current targets. And then later in the year, we'll probably do some more geophysics on the northern part of our targets, which we haven't really had a real detailed look at yet. So it's an exploration story, and we're going to be spending our money as we said we would, doing high quality exploration, which hopefully is super high impact if we make a discovery.
Obviously, that's the big plan. And Stan, what are you hoping to achieve by year end, ideally?
To make the next great IOCG copper discovery in Australia, and be well on our way to a major drill out. That's my dream. I would say success is that we find a couple of large magmatic systems, we get some additional information on the target we've got, and probably generate some new targets. That, I think that's a pretty successful year for us. But like I said, we're chasing discovery. That's what all exploration companies go there to do. And I think the type of ground that we got lends itself to that. You sort of alluded to the naming of elephants. You're kind of one of the first persons to actually twig on that. I didn't go with super famous elephants just to see if anyone did. But, it is elephant country. All the people that have made discoveries there now have discovered elephants or whales, whatever you like to call them. But that's what we're there to find, an elephant.
Well, Stan, you mentioned obviously it's early days for the company itself, but you've got an experienced team behind it. So, finally, what would you think CGN offers to a potential investor?
I think we do have a good team, a really strong, lean team to do this work. We've got an exceptional package of ground in probably, one of the hottest districts in Australia now for exploration. Some of our near neighbours have made significant discoveries, both in copper, gold, nickel, niobium. So it is a fertile area. And we're fortunate enough to have a large contiguous package to explore within there. I think the really important part of all that, which makes it all possible, is that we're well funded for a junior explorer. We've got enough, we're sitting on $8 million still to go out and execute our plan over the next 2 years. I think it's a pretty compelling story for a junior exploration company. And I think the market's perception of that and our continued stable share price, well above our listing price, is a demonstration that investors think the same thing.
Well, Stan, thank you very much for taking the time to speak today.
No, thanks for the opportunity. I always love talking about my project. We'll speak again soon, hopefully.
Sounds good.